I'm Christy Hartman. Welcome back to my channel. This is my stencil, Pea Pod Vines. We're going to do a little experimentation with this one today. We're going to test out my theory of adding an isolation coat to maintain the integrity of your paint colors. Let's see if my theory works. I'm using some new paint that I just got that was recommended highly by Patricia from Pea Studio. So far I've been very impressed. We're going to do an ombre. Let's lay this stencil down, which is Pea Pods, it's mine, right over the top of our plate. Pull this up, which is lovely. Look at how luminous that paint is. Let's pull that up. We're going to put a coat of interference paint over the top of this layer. In one of my past videos, I showed you that you could use these interference paints to produce an isolation coat, which then allows your paint to have more of a pure color in your subsequent layers. I wanted to show you there are different brands of interference paint. Golden has interference paints. Golden's interference paints are outstanding. There is no doubt, but they're a little bit more expensive, so I wanted to show you a little cheaper option. I'm going to use this one today, as this is the one I've been using here recently, and I think it works brilliantly, and for the price I don't think you can beat it. We're just going to layer a thin coat of this interference paint right over the top of this layer, very thin. In fact, I put very little paint on there. My isolation coat is dry, and I'm going to put this stencil back down over the top of this because I want to mask out those areas. And we're going to use this PBO, and this is the iridescent green. And this was why I put the isolation coat on here. Now you may be asking yourself, why does that isolation coat work? That doesn't even make sense. Because colors partially mix and blend because of the pigments, but they also mix and blend because of the light that reflects through the paper to the white of the paper. I think the isolation coat works because I think those interference paints change the way that the light reflects down to the paper. That's my theory. Not being a scientist, I'm not 100% sure, but that's what I think. Okay, that looks kind of cool. We're going to test my isolation coat theory, and we're going to see if this works. We're going to use, in the open, we're going to use anthraquinone. It's kind of a blue-gray color, but the golden open is so incredibly translucent in comparison to the fluid, and I can get a really thin coat, which is what I want to do. And I'm going to have to be careful because this doesn't want to stick. It's not sticking down there, so we'll be very careful. I'm going to use my 5x7 inch plate and brayer this out very thin. And then let's look. Notice, did not change my orange. What it's going to do is it's just going to darken up some of the green areas, and it's going to show through on some of these areas that are kind of splotchy, which I think is going to be kind of interesting. So we're going to let that dry. And it's such a thin coat, even though it's open, it should dry pretty quickly. Now, let's take this, go back to this aqueous effervescence. So let's try this side, which is a brayer off. Let's grab a piece of deli paper and my Baron. Very interesting. Okay, let's let that sit. I think we can get some more off of there. Let's take another brayer off. Yeah, I got a little bit. I actually really like that. And then let's pull that off of there. Set that off to the side. Come over with this one and put it right there. Okay, right there. And we'll let those dry. I thought I'd share rather quickly these extra prints that I did on the brayer offs. I think they're really spectacular. Here's another one. I'm a huge fan of a brayer off. And then this is the finished one. And I kind of love them all. I don't know what I'm going to do with them, but keep watching. You might see these in an upcoming video. I think we'll pull this one with iridescent copper fine. Made that orange go oranger. You can certainly see the blue through it. We'll see. We'll see what we think. I'll be back when it's time to pull it. Oops. That one's not coming up. And I have a couple spots where it messed up here. But we might be able to work around that. Here's the print that we just completed using the layers and the Pea Pod Vines stencil. As you heard in the video, my theory is that the isolation coat using the interference paints maintains the integrity of that paint color. I think my theory works. The green and the orange should brown out slightly where I added the copper. They're somewhat dull. Let me bring it up closer so you can see without too much glare. It is somewhat dull in these areas, and the places where I put blue, it should brown out. It won't impact the green, but it should brown out the orange. And it didn't. Like I said, it's a little bit duller. It's not the same intensity that the rest of the area is. So for example, this one is a good example. You can see this orange underneath that green. It's still a vibrant green. So I have to say, I think my theory works, and I think I've tested it quite a few times now. Let me know what you think. Let me know if you think it works for you or if it doesn't. Don't forget to like, subscribe. If you're a subscriber already, thank you. I appreciate each and every one of you. If you're not a subscriber, join us. I'd love to have you. Leave me a thumbs up. It is so important for the algorithm that I get that thumbs up so people know that you're enjoying this content. Don't Don't forget to leave me a nice comment. I always love to hear nice comments. Even the not so nice comments, I kind of get a kick out of those too. And I try to be responsive to all of them. And I'll see you in my next video.